If you're building with AI, you've probably noticed that things are changing, like really fast. Well, we're about to break down a fundamental shift in how AI development works. We're moving away from these walled off, restrictive tools into something way more flexible and, honestly, way more powerful. So let's just dive right in. Just think back to last year. 2024 felt like you were constantly getting trapped. You picked one AI tool, and suddenly you were locked into that single company's entire world. But 2025, it's a whole new ballgame. We're talking about a modular stack where you get to be the boss. You pick and choose the absolute best tool for each part of your workflow. And trust me, this changes everything. So, why the big change? Well, to put it bluntly, the old way was just broken. It was a massive source of friction for developers who just wanted to use the best stuff out there to get the job done. Remember this? It was so frustrating. If you wanted to use GitHub Copilot, you had to be in VS Code, period. Wanted to chat with Claude? Well, that's another browser tab you've got open. You had zero choice in the underlying model. You were stuck. It was a world of these little walled gardens, and it made mixing and matching the best tools basically impossible. But that's all in the past now. The solution is here, and it's a whole new way of thinking. The three-layer stack. This is the new mental model you need for building with AI today. The easiest way to picture this is like a three-story building. The first floor, the foundation, is the intelligence. That's the raw brain power. The second floor is the workspace. That's where you hang out and do all your work. And the top floor is for orchestration. This is the heavy-duty automation that takes on the really complex stuff. Each layer has its own job, and here's the kicker. You can swap out any floor you want, anytime. Okay, so let's start at the bottom. Layer 1, the intelligence. These are the big-name frontier models you're always hearing about. Think GPT-5, Claude, Gemini. This is the thinking part of your stack. And because it's its own separate layer, you can switch from one model to another without messing up your entire setup. Next up, Layer 2, the workspace. This is your home base. It's your code editor, whether that's VS Code, Cursor, or something else. It's where you're actually writing code and talking to the AI. The key here is choice. You can stick with the editor you already know and love, and it'll plug right into any model from Layer 1. And finally, we get to Layer 3, orchestration. Now, this is where things get really cool. These aren't just simple code suggestions. These are autonomous development agents. So Layer 2 helps you inside your editor, but Layer 3 agents take on huge, multi-step tasks for you. We're talking about giving a command like, hey, refactor this whole module for me, or add tests and open a pull request, and the agent just goes and does it. So what does this look like on a normal day? Imagine this. You're coding away in VS Code. That's your Layer 2 workspace. You're getting some brilliant inline suggestions from, say, Claude, your Layer 1 intelligence. Then you hit a huge refactoring job. Instead of grinding it out, you call on a tool like Aider, your Layer 3 agent, to just handle the whole thing. See, each layer does its job, all working together perfectly. This all sounds amazing, right? Almost like magic. But it really begs the question, what actually changed to make all this possible? What's the secret sauce that unlocked this brand new modular world? Seriously, just think about that for a second. What kind of breakthrough would it take to get all these different tools from all these different companies to suddenly start playing nice with each other so seamlessly? The answer, and this is the big one, is a new open standard called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It's the key that unlocks this whole thing. See, before, every tool needed a custom-built integration for every single editor. MCP throws that out the window. It creates one standard way for any AI tool to ask for context, like show me this file or what's in the terminal, without needing a special handshake. It's a common language. Honestly, the best analogy for MCP is USB. Remember before USB, when every single device had its own crazy, unique plug? It was a nightmare. Then USB came along, and suddenly everything just connected. MCP is doing that for AI tools. It's creating a universal port for intelligence. And when you see it laid out like this, side by side, the difference is just, wow. It's night and day. In the old monolithic world, everything was bundled, leading to crazy vendor lock-in. Now with a modular stack, every single one of those is a choice you get to make. The flexibility is just off the charts. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now for the fun part. How do you actually use this knowledge to go out and build your own perfect AI development stack? Let's start with Layer 1, the brains. You'll want to think about performance, cost, and of course, privacy. A really solid place to start is to check out either Claude for its incredible reasoning skills or Gemini, which has a massive context window and a pretty generous free tier. For your Layer 2 workspace, it really just comes down to what feels right for you. If you already love your IDE, don't change. Just beef it up with some great AI extensions. But if you're curious about a more deeply integrated AI-first experience, you might want to give a dedicated editor like Cursor a spin. And for Layer 3, your orchestration agent, think about how much control you want to hand over. My advice? Start with something a little more lightweight and focused, like Aider. Once you get comfortable with that, you can graduate to the more powerful, more autonomous agents out there. So, as we start to wrap this up, if there is one single thing you take away from all this, I want it to be this. Start thinking in layers, not just in tools. The specific names will change, but the concept is here to stay. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, okay, but isn't this just another tech fad, some framework that's going to be old news in a year? And you know what? That's a totally fair question. We see stuff come and go all the time. But this is different for a few really big reasons. One, it solves a real painful problem, vendor lock-in. Two, it's built on an open standard, MCP, not some single company's tech. Three, the economics just make sense. It lets companies specialize in what they do best. And most importantly, this isn't some future prediction. This shift is already happening, right now.
This is the line I want you to remember. The pattern is durable. Tools will churn, the architecture remains. The specific tools we talked about today might be replaced by something better next year, and that's great. As long as you understand this 3-layer architecture, you'll be able to adapt and always use the best new stuff as it comes out. The pattern is what matters.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Based on your own projects, your budget, your skill level, what does your ideal 3-layer stack look like? That's the real power here, the ability to stop, think strategically, and build the perfect stack that is just right for you.